Have you ever thought about how your sexual health can affect your general health? Did you know that some women who swallow their partner sign might have a stronger immune system, or that having sex regularly could actually help keep diseases like cancer at bay? Stay tuned because this video is full of shocking facts about sex that are backed up by science and could completely change the way you think about intimacy. You won't want to miss these surprising insights that could lead to a healthier and more fulfilling life. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest content. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy it, please leave a 1-star comment. If it doesn't, leave a 0-star comment. Your feedback is very important to me because it helps me make better videos that are more in line with your interests. Allow us to begin. Did you know that some women who swallow their partner's sex might have a stronger immune system? Also, having sex regularly could help keep you from getting diseases like cancer that can kill you. If that interests you, you're in for a treat because I'm about to show you some truly sex facts that are backed up by science. You won't want to miss this. Let's start with a shocking fact. In 7,000 women are born without a vagina. This is called vaginal agenesis, and it's usually not noticed until puberty. This means that many young women to go through a surprising and deeply emotional journey to understand their bodies. Finding out something so important can change your life. This is just the tip of the fascinating world of male anatomy and sexual health. Here's another interesting the fact that might surprise you. A study in North America found that women who use emojis are statistically more likely to send nudes when the conditions are right. This fact shows how modern technology combined with human emotion has changed how we communicate our desires and show intimacy. Let's talk about food. Did you know that a simple kiss on the ear or a kiss on the neck can send a shock wave of pure bliss through a woman's body, especially her vagina? These areas are very sensitive and stimulating. Them can make a woman feel aroused almost instantly. This can strengthen the connection between two people in apprivation. The magic of these sensual towels can't be stressed enough. When we talk about the wild side of sex, let's take a trip to the animal kingdom. If the black widow spider is really hungry, she will literally eat her mate on real date days. She can eat up to 20 males in only day. It's a scary reminder of the primal instincts that still live inside real living things, even when it comes to love and desire. Now, if you want to reignite this spark in your relationship, especially after 60, I have a special offer for you. My digital book Rediscovering Intimacy, Healthy Sexuality After 60 is full of practical advice and emotional wisdom to help you whether you're facing physical problems or just want to deepen your emotional bond. This book is your guide to a happier and more passionate love life. Click on the first pinned comment to get your copy today. A few spots are left, so don't miss out. Human studies done by the American Sociological Association show that we missed this chance that could have changed our lives. According to studies, the most mind-blowing sex happens when you are deeply in love with your partner. The emotional connection is a key part of amplifying physical pleasure, turning ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. However, about 70% of men still prefer to avoid sex during their partner's menstrual cycle, which brings up another topic of conversation: how to communicate comfortably and emotionally in relationships. If you have a sense of small, you might be in for a more intense sexual experience. Pheromone-rich scents like sweat or vaginal discharge can make intimacy even more electrifying. These chemical signals open up a deeper primal connection, amplifying desire and strengthening the bond between lovers. Stay with me because I'm just scratching the surface of how fascinating, complex, and powerful our sexuality really is. For example, did you know that orgasms can actually improve the quality of sperm? Yes, having sex more often can not only make you more fertile but also make your sperm healthier and better quality, be preventing DNA damage in them. This is good news for couples who are having mild fertility problems, bringing up the fact that regular closeness can be a part of the answer to problems with getting pregnant. It's an interesting example of how the body is perfectly designed for both pleasure and reproduction well-being. Speaking of solo pleasure, often referred to as solo sex, offers its own unique benefits according to psychologist Anna All from Istanbul, Turkey. Engaging in solo sex can boost self-confidence, provide a deeper understanding of your body, and leave you feeling sexual. What's more, it offers many of the same physical and emotional benefits as sex with a partner, but with the added bonus of personal exploration and self-discovery. In a world where intimacy with others can sometimes feel complicated, masturbation provides a safe and empowering way to connect with yourself. Let's not forget the powerful emotional connection that sex fosters between two people. After sex, your body releases oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which helps you feel incredibly relaxed and deeply bonded with your partner. This hormone not only enhances feelings of intimacy, but can also increase trust between partners. In fact, one study revealed that when strangers were given a nasal spray containing oxytocin, they began to trust each other more, demonstrating the incredible power of this hormone in fragile emotions. Let's talk about the different sexualities of people. Now, did you know that a lot of bisexual, gay, lesbian, and transgender people have had heterosexual experiences as teens but still stay true to who they are? On the other hand, some straight people have had some sex encounters but still identify as straight. Sexuality is complicated, fluid, and deeply personal. There's also pharmacophobia, which is the sexual interest in having bugs or worms crawl in the body. This may sound strange to some, but it shows how diverse human sexual preferences and curiosities are. Having a sexual life isn't just for fun, it's good for you. In the long run, studies have shown that having sex at least once a week lowers the risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Additionally, men who have regular sex are generally more likely to live past age of 8. I think this makes it clear how physical closeness is connected to health, longevity, and vitality in general. Another common sexual fantasy for many people is having sex with a group of people, and interestingly, more than half of those who have had this fantasy have actually done it at some point. Sexual fantasies are more common than we might think, and they can be as tame or as wild as we want them to be. They all add to the rich tapestry of human sexual experience. Also, about 1% of the global population identifies as asexual, which means they don't feel strongly sexual to anyone. Asexuality is another way that humans experience their sexuality. Dorothy was the first living being on Earth to engage in sexual reproduction. This momentous event occurred around 30 million years ago, marking the dawn of a practice that has continued to evolve in fascinating ways ever since. From prehistoric times to modern-day office romances, sexual behavior has woven itself into the fabric of human life. In fact, about 1 in 5 people have had sex with a coworker, a reminder that intimacy often finds its way into our daily lives. Even at work, according to a com study, 44% of singles report having an orgasm almost every time they have sex with someone they've been intimate with before, such as an ex-partner. This statistic underscores the importance of familiarity, trust, and emotional connection when it comes to achieving sexual satisfaction. Sometimes knowing someone well can lead to deeper, more fulfilling sexual experiences, proving that intimacy is not just about the physical, but also about emotional and psychological bond. You ever experienced that tingling sensation running up your spine while listening to a powerful piece of music? That's what we call a skin orgasm or free one. And it's not just limited to music. Research shows that this delightful sensation can be triggered by movies, works of art, or even a special connection with someone. The fascinating thing about free one is that it's unpredictable. You never quite know when or why it might happen, but when it does, it feels as if your whole body comes alive with emotion. Now, when it comes to sexual pleasure, every woman is as unique as a snowflake. Each has her own distinct way of reaching orgasm, with nerve endings in her genitals distributed in a way that is special only to her. This uniqueness means that what brings one woman to the height of pleasure may not work the same for another, and during orgasm, those rhythmic vaginal contractions that feel so intense, they are actually the uterus trying to pull sperm inside. An amazing involuntary action tied to the body's performance. Satisfaction in bed can take some interesting turns and twists along the way. Surprisingly, having a lot of sexual partners doesn't always make you happier. In fact, men may feel less sexual fulfillment when their last encounter was with someone they really care about. This is because deep emotional connections can often lead to more pleasure, fewer erection problems, and less pain during sex. It's a paradox that shows how physically and emotional adult relationships are connected. Meanwhile, more than half of young adults, 18 to 24, say their last sexual partner was just a casual hookup. Shining light on how modern interactions are changing. Let's talk about oral sex. Some people think it's safer than other types of sex, but there are still some risks. It's important to remember that the sharing of fluids can still spread infections, so be careful. An uninteresting turn of events. Both men and women now say they enjoy being bitten during intimate times. 55% of women and 50% of men say they do. This fun act of aggression can make sex more enjoyable. B. Combining pain and pleasure in enticing ways. Did you know the word clitoris comes from the Greek word forethroat? It comes from a Greek word that means queen or divine, which shows how important and powerful this small but organ is in the world of female pleasure. When it comes to orgasm, is men and women each have their own unique ways to reach ecstasy. For men, touching the prostatiles, so known as the pay spot during anal sex, can cause an orgasm so strong that it's impossible to forget. For women, putting pressure on the AA spot close to the cervix can cause waves of intense pleasure that are often described as completely fulfilling. There are many ways to win over a woman's heart and body. For example, more than 97% of women find a kiss on the neck to be one of the sexiest places on their body. But when it comes to the famed GS spot, not all women feel the same way, and the exact location can vary from woman to woman. Now, here's something really interesting. About 1% of can get an orgasm just by stimulating their nipple, but for those who it can be the sayest experience of their lives, from free ones to orgasms. The world of sexual pleasure is huge and always interesting. The body is a treasure trove of unique sensations, battery just waiting to be discovered. If you are still watching this movie and think these lessons are helpful, please let me know in the first comment below. This is for both men and women. Oral sex Regent Supreme is the ultimate fantasy that often sparks passion and intimacy in a way that few other acts can. It offers a deep connection, especially for women who can't have an orgasm that lasts anywhere from 3 to 51 seconds. Yes, women can ejaculate, but it's important to note that squirting, ejaculation, and orgasm are two beautiful, separate but connected experiences, each with its own powerful sensations. Clitoris is a treasure chest of pleasure. It has 80 nerve endings, which is twice as many as the penis. This makes it the ultimate place for sexual delight. While penetration is fascinatingly, 18% of women can achieve orgasm through it alone. The magic is often in shallower movements, that delicate, the G-spot rather than deep thrusts. It's during these moments of leisure that the female brain lights up like fireworks, ready to dive back into waves of euphoria. But despite this potential, a heartbreaking 30% of women say they have a trouble getting an orgasm and 10% haven't ever had one. This difference often shows a deeper need for openness, understanding, and communication in relationships. Women tend to have more frequent and satisfying orgasms in committed partnerships than in one-night stands where emotional intimacy is often lacking. For example, kissing a woman softly while she sleeps or indulging in her fantasies can create a bond that goes beyond the physical combination, emotional and sexual connection into a single potent experience. The act of exploring this regard is a private dance that builds trust and love, but it takes courage to be open about what really sets the flames. Old-fashioned touch isn't the only way to feel good. For example, the clitoris is still a very sensitive area that needs care and attention. Its 80 endings call for care and attention. A well-groomed partner is another minor but important factor, since its groin area is sensitive, and even something as simple as a beard that isn't trimmed can make it hard. Being physically fit and active lifestyles are a big part of what attracts people. Many women are attracted to sporty men, even if their bodies aren't perfect. It's not just about looks. Being active can also give you confidence and energy in the bedroom. Sadly, many people are unhappy with their sex lives and suffer insolence. The 69th position is known for its simultaneous stimulation, but positions, like the doggy style, offer deeper penetration that many men find applies it as fee. Interestingly, the power of attraction also lies in male testosterone. The primal hormone of masculinity can make women want to be with a man, and there are even loans that mimic this alluring scent, heightening schwents. However, relationships where partners are too similar may not always last, as subtle differences between partners often fuel attraction, adding that spark of unpredictability. As a woman goes through life, especially during menopause, her sexual desires change. As a woman's body changes, so does her emotional and physical closeness. Recognizing these changes is important for keeping a healthy and happy relationships. At the heart of every closer connection is communication, mutual respect, and shared pleasure. Proper sexual education can break down walls of shame and anxiety. target greater satisfaction in a classroom. Both people must be willing to change their expectations and work together to find solutions that work for both of them. After all, pleasure in all its forms is a journey that should be assured, loved, and celebrated. If someone is a saposexual, their intelligence becomes their most powerful aphroses for saposexual. It's not about the physical first, but the stimulating conversations, clever comments, and deep thought that spark true attraction. But before we get into the complexities of sexuality, it's important to bust some myths that have spread through society, like the so-called dead vagina syndrome. This false idea says that having a lot of sex can make a woman less sensitive. But that's not true. All women's bodies are made for pleasure, and they can enjoy it as much as they want, as long as it's mutually agreed upon and fun. The character method in which the focus shifts from orgasm to the so deep bond between partners really emphasizes the emotional connection over physical climax. It's a powerful reminder that intimacy is about more than just reaching a peak. It's about connecting on an emotional and spiritual level, which can be much more satisfying for many women in the long run. Even that attraction isn't based on looks alone. Men who take care of themselves by shaving or trimming their beards often find that they become more attractive to their partners. It's a simple, beautiful, effective way to show self-respect, which is undeniably linked. Sexual fantasy is another important part of a healthy sex life. A fantasy can reignite desire by adding excitement and novelty to a relationship. It's not unusual for people to feel a surge of desire when meet a new partner. Robert Sternberg's theory of love says that the thrill of the new stirs up dormant emotions. There are three main parts to a relationship: listening, desire, and commitment. When these three things come together, they can make any kind of love, from a hot fling to a deep, long-lasting relationship. Another interesting thing about human sexuality is how our attachment styles, secure, avoidant, or anxious affect, how we experience intimacy. A secure attachment style usually leads to stable and satisfying sexual experiences, while avoidant or anxious styles can make it hard to be vulnerable or close. Some people even have a condition called persistent genital arousal disease, in which they feel sexually aroused even when there is no sexual stimulus. This shows how complicated human desire is. Also, it's important to know that sexual desire doesn't just go away with age. As people age, their sexual needs and wants may change, but they didn't go away. In fact, smell can surprise you in ways that surprise you at any age. It can come from a person's natural body chemistry, or from a fragrance. Even outside factors like the weather can affect sexual activity. In warmer days, desire tends to rise. Music is also a powerful tool that can create an emotional and sensual atmosphere that makes attraction stronger. Now let's talk about something that many men avoid but is very for their sexual health: erectile dysfunction. This problem, which affects a lot of guys, can be very painful emotionally and lead to feelings of not being good enough and tense relationships. But there is hope. Research has shown that doing yoga can make you more sexually attractive. It improves flexibility, tolerance, stress, and even increases sexual desire. It's a complete method that gives men back their confidence in the bedroom. In today's digital world, cybersex is a new form of intimacy, where a sexual activity happens online instead of in person. Depending on the level of communication and between the participants, it can either help or hurt a relationship. On the one hand, it can give a long-distance couples a way to stay close, but on the other hand, it can make people unhappy if it becomes a replacement for real connection. In the same way, partners can feel emotionally and sexually empty when they don't get enough hugs, kisses, and touches, showing how important touch is for keeping the relationship going. If you are still watching this movie and think these lessons are helpful, please let me know in the second comment below. Relationships have become more popular recently because they go against traditional ideas of monogamy. These relationships are based in ethics and open communication, and they involve more than one partner. A brave step toward rethinking what it can look like, and for some people it works beautifully. Lastly, it's important to remember that some people get sexually aroused in the strangest places. What you eat and how you eat, while some smells or tastes can make you something, others can bring together two of life's biggest pleasures, food and intimacy, in a way that is completely allied for it. There are many things that go into attracting a woman, and each one is unique as the woman herself. While the G-spot has gotten a lot of attention, it's important to remember that not all women experience it the same way, and its location can vary slightly from person to person. However, The neck is an area that is almost always thought of as erotic. In fact, over 97% of women love being kissed because it's a very sensitive zone. Thought can cause intense arousal, but that's not all. Did you know that about 1% of women can have orgasm just by stimulating thethys? Shows how diverse female pleasure is and how many ways women can find sexual satisfaction in their fantasies. Oral sex tops the list for both men and women, offering a combination of intimacy and pleasure. With it, few other acts can match. The duration of a female orgasm can vary dramatically from a quick 3 seconds to an intense 51 seconds. And yes, women can ejaculate, but it's crucial to understand that squirting, ejaculate, and orgasm are not the same thing. The clitoris, with its 80 nerve endings, twice as many as the penis, is the epicenter of female pleasure and often holds the key to orgasm. For many women, yet only 18% of women are able to reach orgasm through penetration alone, emphasizing the importance of exploring other forms of stimulation during a female orgasm. The entire brain becomes fully active, firing on all cylinders, and often leaving Harady for more pleasure. Misery mediard waftry. However, despite this potential for multiple orgasms, around 30% of women difficulty reaching climax. Unknown in 10 women has never experienced an orgasm at all. For many, shallow penetration is often more pleasurable base. It gently stimulates the gespoteria rather than relying on deep pressure. Can sometimes be less satisfying in terms of relationships when compared to casual flings. Committed partners tend to have more frequent and satisfying orgasms. Building emotional closeness over time can lead to a stronger connection in the bedroom, making every more important. Being softly kissed while you sleep is another intimate act that women enjoy because it's a sweet gesture that strengthens the bond between partners. Getting to know each other's fantasies can be a fun way to get closer, and open communication is key to finding out what truly makes each person happy. Unrealistic expectations about body image can wreck self-esteem, especially in the bedroom where men need to be vulnerable. To connectively, taking care of the groin area can not only make it more comfortable, but it can also make the whole experience better for both partners. Many women are attracted to men who take care of their bodies. A well-groomed beard can help, but so can staying active. Women are naturally drawn to men who play sports or live an active lifestyle, even if they don't have a bodybuilder fee. When it comes to sexual positions, 69 is all about mutual sensations, which means that both partners can feel pleasure at the same time. On the other hand, many men like the doggy style because it allows for deeper penetration, which can make their satisfaction even greater. There are perks to each position, and trying out different ones can help keep the spark alive in any relationship. Thanks for joining us on this interesting journey. We'd love to hear what you've learned about sexual health and wellness so far. What's one thing you've learned that you plan to use in your own life? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, please leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more helpful videos. Thanks for all your help. We look forward to giving you even more amazing facts and tips in that